Well, hello, my name is David. I'm with the Wesley Chapel Rotary Club, Wesley Chapel Noon Rotary Club. And my Rotary story is I had been invited to the club by several members that I've met and had known through other organizations within the community, and Eric Johnson and Janine McLeod, a couple of those people had invited me to the meeting, and I went to the meeting and saw a bunch of people that I knew, and same age group. You know, our club is very diverse. We have a lot of women in our club, as well as a lot of men. We're about 50-50, and our average age is about 45. So I was able to relate to those people. But I went to a meeting, enjoyed the meeting, and was invited back a couple of different times. So I went to the next week's meeting, and then the following week's meeting, and then I was asked to go on a mission trip to Honduras, which was an international trip that supports pure water or clean water project over in Honduras with Pure Water for the World. And I decided to go on that trip. I went on that trip 4 years ago, and that changed my life. It changed how I felt about my day-to-day story, my day-to-day life, and that just made me a Rotarian forever, and that's why I'm still here.
Hi, my name is Brian Martinez. I'm the president-elect of the St. Petersburg Sunrise Rotary Club. My Rotary story began with a gentleman named Jerry Converse, who invited me to come to the Rotary Club. One of the first people I saw when I walked in was a gentleman I have a lot of respect for named Lee Martino. And Lee welcomed me with open arms, said he was really happy to have me there. And that following Thursday, it was right around November, and we went to serve Thanksgiving dinner to the young ladies of Brookwood, which is a home for more abused and battered young women in St. Petersburg, which the age ranges, 12 to 17. It's a pretty sad case. And one of the young women stood up and said, "Whether you realize it or not, this is the only Thanksgiving we get, and we just want to thank you." And that just, it really stuck with me. I will carry that memory with me for the rest of my life. And that evening, as we're picking up, one of our club members, a guy named Joe Frohock, and I were taking the dishes back to the St. Pete Yacht Club. And here we are in the pouring rain, unloading dishes out of the back of Joe's car. And Joe looks at me and says, "This is why I'm a Rotarian," the feeling I have right now. And that feeling has stuck with me ever since. So that is my Rotary story.
Go.
Hi, my name is Susan Zysk, and I'm the president-elect of Gulf Beaches Rotary. My Rotary story comes through my sister-in-law. When we lived up in New England, my husband and I used to drive for 3 hours to go over to visit her and help her with her Rotary service jobs. We sold Christmas trees, we ran swim meets, we cooked up sausages, and we did all these things because Stephanie was so involved in Rotary. After we moved to Florida, we convinced her to move down here, and she said she would if we finally joined Rotary. So that's what we did. We decided that we would go to different Rotaries around St. Petersburg and try them all out to see where we fit in the best. The first club we visited was Gulf Beaches, and they were so warm and so welcoming that that's the club we ended up joining. My husband has been president of the club now already 2 years ago, and now I'm president-elect. Everything the club does inspires me, and the things that Rotary International does inspires me. Our club is 47 members, and what we do with 47 members is pretty huge in our community, as is all Rotary clubs. So my experience as a Rotarian has all been positive. The people I've met down here have all been positive. And I thank my sister-in-law, Stephanie Cruey, for getting me involved in Rotary International. Thank you.
My name is James Markley. I'm the president-elect and incoming president for the Rotary Club of San Antonio. I joined Rotary on August 29th of 2017. I was asked in September of 2017 if I would actually serve as president-elect. At the time when I was asked to join, I hadn't had my Rotary moment yet. had been a part of things for about 6 months prior to that before I had joined. I had participated in meetings. I was asked actually if I wanted to join the Rotary Club, but I hadn't had that moment. After the hurricanes came in 2017, they were asking for volunteers to come out and participate in a Pasco County food drive. And I brought my family, my daughter, my wife, and we all participated together. Had a really good moment as a family, but still hadn't had that Rotary moment yet. In Pets of 2018, when I went to go attend in Orlando, I took my wife with me as my spouse, and we were on our way there. And one of the things she said to me on the way there was that she wanted to be a Rotarian. And at the time, I told her, I said, let's wait. Really hold off on this, let's wait. We got to the end of Pets, and one of the things that really meant a lot to me was we got through the speech by Barry Raskin. He was the final keynote. And we were all standing in the room, we were singing the song by John Lennon, Imagine. And we brought all the hotel staff and we sang it to him and everything else. And I was reflecting on my weekend, really, at Pets. And I looked over at my wife and I realized that we were part of something bigger. And that I really wanted to share that with her. And that I really wanted to share that with my family and my daughter to be a part of that too. That was my Rotary moment, where I realized not only was I part of the Rotary family, but my family was part of it too.
Go.
Hi, my name is Mike Busler. I'm the incoming president for the Rotary Club of Central Citrus County. We meet in Black Diamond Ranch on Wednesday mornings at 7:30. I've been in Rotary for 35 years. I've been club president 3 times before, and this will be the 4th. I joined Rotary in 1983 at the Southern York County, Pennsylvania Rotary Club. I was asked to come by another person in my office. I was at Merrill Lynch, and I enjoyed it from the minute I walked in the door. They were friendly, people that I didn't know, but they were my neighbors, and I was definitely hooked. I became president of that club in 1989. 89-90 was the year. My project for that year was building a YMCA in Southern York County, Pennsylvania. It was completed in 1991. So here we are in Citrus County. Years later, I was president 5 years ago, and I joined the board of the YMCA in Citrus County. I told them that they would have more than 5,000 members within 6 months, and today, 2 years later, they have 12,000 members. We help support that by our club and the other 5 clubs in our district work together, and we donated $100,000 to take care of their kids' zone. So we do a lot of work locally, and we invest our time and money in international projects as well. So that's the story.
Go.
Hi, my name is Mike Hall, and I'm in the Inverness Rotary Club. And I'm here to tell you my Rotary story. And when I was first introduced to Rotary, years ago when I was in St. Louis, I got to be the student of the month. The principal of our school invited me to that. And that's first learned what even Rotary was. But really what drew me to it was somebody invited me to Rotary and went and learned what it was about. And I was inspired by the community service that Rotary provided and the camaraderie that Rotary provided. It really makes a difference. And that's our overarching theme in our particular club is we work together to make a difference in our community and the world. And we truly do. And it's exciting to see that through scholarships. We help with children that need help with school to get to college, or we also, our other goals are working with the homeless, how we can home the homeless, and also how we can help feed the people that aren't able to eat. So it's just great camaraderie. We love working together, and it's a great club, great group of people, and truly making a difference.
Hi, my name is Michael Flynn, and I belong to the Rotary Club of Central Pinellas, and this is my Rotary story. So I'm in law enforcement, and I happen to also be on the board of directors for our association where I live. So my neighbor, who is also a Rotarian, Ed Hallock, I snookered him into coming onto the board by telling him some great things that really weren't true. So as they say, no good deed ever goes unpunished. So Ed came to me one day and said, hey, I want to invite you to a meeting of Rotary Club. And I'd heard a little bit about Rotary, but I really didn't understand it. So he got me to the club, and I really enjoyed it. And I was amazed at the number of things that Rotary does. Being in law enforcement, I always see the bad side of people, and the people that I generally get to help are in a different area of town, because I work over in Tampa, but I live over in Pinellas. So when I saw how things happened and what Rotary did, and the ability to be able to make a difference in my own community, I couldn't pass that up. So I went to a few meetings, I learned quite a bit about Rotary, found out about its rich history, which I don't know that a lot of people understand how old Rotary Club is and the history behind it. But now I'm in deep. I've become president-elect in a short period of time, and it gives me the ability to make good in the community where I live, and that's my Rotary story.
Hi, my name is Ed Hallock, and I'm from the Rotary Club of Central Pinellas, and this is my Rotary story. I've been a Rotarian for 25 years, and I had no idea what Rotary was. And I was home office working in the software business, and I had neighbors that would come down 6 months a year from Canada. And my next door neighbor came to me one day and said, I want to take you to a Rotary meeting. And I basically said, what's Rotary? I had no idea what it was. We went and visited some local clubs, and I ended up joining one of the clubs. And the amazing thing is what we do as Rotarians is what really got me hooked and got me to stay a Rotarian for as long as I have. We do some phenomenal programs with recognizing students and helping from an education perspective. One of the great projects we had was going out and feeding needy families at Christmas time. We would make these baskets of food. We would purchase gifts for the children of the families, and we would actually take and we would deliver those to families on a Saturday morning before Christmas. And I remember taking my own kids out to deliver those holiday baskets one year. My son must have been about 10 years old, and we delivered a basket to a family that was really in need. And the dad in that family broke down and cried. And my son said to me, Dad, why is that man crying? And I said, because we helped make their Christmas. We provided food and gifts that they would not have had at Christmas time. And that's the phenomenal thing about our organization. It's the lives we touch. It's the people we help.
Hello, my name is Michael Cox with the Rotary Club of Holiday. So I got involved in Rotary because of a gentleman by the name of Roger Michaels. I was campaigning for office at the time, running for Pasco County Commission, and I went to Roger to talk to him about a campaign donation. And while I was there, he says, you know, you really need to meet people in the campaign. So I would invite you to come to a Rotary Club meeting, and let me introduce you to some people. And so I went with him there, and when he introduced me, he stood up and said, I'd like you to meet Michael Cox. He was just asking me how he could become a member of this club. Of course, I had never asked that, but I certainly said, yeah, you know, I would like to know more about Rotary. And so he nurtured me and spent some time with me to tell me about all the great things that Rotary does in the world. I then went to a parade, and that's one of the community service projects that our club has done in the community for many years by putting on the Chasco Fiesta Street Parade and the Christmas Parade every year. And it was at the Chasco Fiesta Parade where I saw all the happiness that were on the kids' face as the parade was starting and rolling down the street. And pretty much then I knew that I was hooked with Rotary. And that's been a lot of years now, and it's been a pleasure to be able to do so many great things in our local community and also in the international community, because Rotary is so involved with all of those things in the world. Thanks for listening.
I'm Greg Smith. I'm a member of the Newport Richey Rotary Club. I was very fortunate to go to their main event every year early on and knew what the club was about, but due to my work was never able to be a member. Finally, I was in that position and was asked to join the club. And so I went to one of the meetings, and it just happened to be the wrap-up of their Christmas program that they had done the first year. It was so overwhelming and exciting for me to see that I could be a part of that. and then to learn that Rotary gave me the opportunity to be a part of worldwide projects as well as local projects. And that's my Rotary Minute.
I am Gary Marcus. I'm the president-elect of the Seminole Lake Rotary Club. I originally joined Rotary for business purposes, not knowing much about it. After I got into Rotary and became more involved, I began to learn what Rotary really is. I began to appreciate all the projects that our club does and all of the people that work on these projects. But more than that, I began to realize the people that made up the club and what we do. And I'm a big supporter of all of those that work behind the scenes for Rotary. Some are not even able to engage in some of our projects, but yet they support the club to make it what it is. We couldn't get along without everyone that's in our club. I absolutely love Rotary, and I've run across a lot of our members, and they've helped me. And there are 2 or 3 Rotarians that I have met, and solely because of Rotary and what they do, and the great people that they are, they have actually inspired me and changed my life in one way or another. Those people that have touched my life are true Rotarians, and many that are like them that I've never met. And I truly appreciate being a part of Rotary.
Hi, my name is Doug Lobel, and I'm a Rotarian in the Rotary Club of Inverness. And my Rotary story has to do with getting involved with Rotary Youth Exchange. About 7 years ago, I was asked as a Rotarian if I would help organize the district Rotary Youth Exchange program. I've done that for 7 years, hosted in my own home about 22 children, but we would have 15 students a year come from foreign countries. The main reason I was involved was because we got to send 15 American students to other countries, to the countries the students that are inbound are coming from. And I saw the change in those students when they came back after a year in Taiwan or Brazil or Sweden. They had matured so much, they became students of the world. And so I've kept at it. I've now been asked to be in charge of helping to raise the level of outbound students. And so I'm now over Florida and Western Georgia to help recruit American students who tend to be more reluctant than the students that come from overseas. We have a whole bunch of kids overseas that want to come here, but it's a one-for-one swap. So that's my reason for being as engaged in Rotary as I am. But along the way, I've served as president of my club in 2005, 2006. And I have done so many things that I wouldn't have done if I hadn't been a Rotarian. It's the greatest opportunity I've ever had.